Yeah. We put in work and here's the proof. What you want?
I'm making moves, punching in.
I'm on it too.
I'm in the gym.
I'm in the stew.
It's hunting season.
Where's the food?
We push each other daily, level up.
Cause that's what brothers do.
Clock in.
Alright, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Alright, man. Here we go, man. Episode 17.
17, man. Round of applause.
Turn that volume on, man.
Turn me up, dude. There we go, man.
There we go.
Crazy, man. 17 straight episodes. That's big.
It's big, man. Been a pleasure.
What's up, man?
We got our co-host here, Marshall Hamilton.
Yes, sir. Austin Hamilton here.
Two special guests, man. They're family. You'll see why, we say they're family. They might literally be family. You'll see why. But
down the line somewhere.
We have
slavery.
right, yeah, facts. We have no other than Maso Hamilton here. I'll let Maso introduce himself.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah, we gotta get him a round of applause. we know who he is.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Of course. Thank you.
Maso here.
And thanks to my brother.
We have the oldest of the. I don't want to call him the other Hamilton family. Like it's just the people who know our family don't know them.
Yeah.
Tau Hamilton,
yes, sir.
right here.
Appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for having me.
We're missing the third Hamilton brother, Mikkel. So shout out to Mikkel, man.
Shout out to
I know Mick is doing something special or grinding. So shout out to Mick, man. But look, man, we wanted to have y'all on for a lot of reasons. Not just because we're connected, but y'all have done a lot of great things as individuals, as a family, and
done great things to our family too.
With our family,
huge impact. Outside of our relationship, so it's only right, man.
It's only right, man. And one of the things that I'll say is, you're not going to hear about black families like this on the news. Their family, man, from their parents, honestly, way before their parents. Just learning more about your mom's side. I don't know as much about your dad's side, but you guys have a history of excellence in your family, and the news doesn't talk about this stuff, right? Yeah. They think we're all struggling as black people, and we still have things that we have to figure out and get better at as a community. But you guys have a special story, man, as a family and individually. So I figure we could start with you all kind of telling us how you even met us, because you knew Walt way before you knew us. And then you knew Beham. That way people can kind of understand like how this whole connection got started. So I know you know the oldest of our family, Walt, so I'll let you get started.
Yeah, no, me and I might not be able to do this story justice but I'll try. Me and Walt, we had the same friends. So one night we go hang out, and Walt would be in the car when they pick me up, and I'd go, "Hey, what's up?" Go, "Hey, my name is Walt," blah blah, and then we got to know each other. Yeah. But then fast forward, we would always be together, same group of friends, me, Elliot, Chris, Gilbert sometimes, most times Nana, same group, right? But then our relationship started to creep into basketball, right? Because of our group, we're the only ones who play competitively. Right. So, I'm not sure where we started playing against each other first. It might have been Worldgate, probably.
Who won the matchup, man? Let's get into it. Who won the matchup?
Man, I'll tell you, man, I had a very hard time guarding Walter.
He's quick.
Back in the day, the gear, he had so many different gears. You talk about tempo. Walter's tempo was unreal. Today, I don't think I've ever had a problem guarding somebody with that tempo, other than Walter. I think Chucky Ivy is probably another one that his tempo kind of killed me a little bit. But everybody else, much credit to you guys. You guys all do something different. That's hard, right? Yeah. Walter, he could shoot the ball, but I was not worried about his jump shot more than I was worried about him just blowing past me. Yeah. Right? And then having a tempo to make me think he was going to shoot and then blow past me. Right. So then I'd be like, all right, I'm going to sag off. And then, I had some success with that for a while. He missing jump shots. I get the rebound. I do my thing. But then it became, one summer, he got a really consistent jump shot. And I was was
after
like,
you left high school, right?
Yeah. And I was like, all right, I guess we gotta go back to the drum. But yeah, that's me and Walter. I mean, we've been close for a while, man, playing basketball. I mean, it's not many times that I'll meet somebody that's our age that went to high school in the area that either me or Walter has not had the pleasure of playing with or against or something like that. Yeah. So, there's nothing you could tell me or him about anybody that's our age.
Yeah, I do know the history out here.
Yeah, so, man, shout out to Walter, man.
And going to battle with some of the top players, coming out of this area.
Right.
And probably got the best of them.
A lot of times.
Yeah. Those are the unseen hours, right?
Man.
Before social media. I always tell people if YouTube was around when we were in high school, or social media, Instagram, and it would have been a show. Because, those rivalries and, those one-on-one battles and people taking their phones and going live and showing how people getting killed and, and on the courts and stuff. It's like, we definitely have some battles that only exist in the mind, right? There's no record of it, but there's some names that, me and Walter play some guys 2-on-2. And, those guys will never let you know that we beat them as bad as we beat them, So, it's just one of those things that you talk about loving the game. Me and Walter, your brother feels about it. So, I will never stop learning about the game. Walter's the same way. And, man, we just, it's basketball history, friendship, faith, all that stuff, man.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man,
that's beautiful.
How about you and B-Ham?
Yeah, so I met B-Ham in high school. We went to the same high school, obviously, Herndon. We lived in the South Lakes district. He went to South Lakes. That's where I was supposed to go. I went to Langston Hughes Middle School.
Right.
And then, Dogwood, Reston. One of the Reston elementary schools. So I transferred to Herndon in the beginning of my freshman year, and I didn't know anybody at Hubbard.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you transferred in. Wow.
Well, pupil placed, whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to be there.
Okay.
Right.
So I didn't know anybody from Herndon. I didn't hang out with people from Herndon. I played for Reston Select, so I didn't even have the Optimist connection.
Right.
Besides destroying Optimist at Select, because we played it one time early, right? It's like, okay, next.
It was Herndon that you destroyed?
Herndon.
Oh,
like 11 steals all on the court. I'm like, what is this?
Who was on the team? I
don't remember.
It didn't matter.
Brandon is probably
our select team, so it was like me, Brad. It was our A team. So whoever they threw out there, they were playing against our guys, Carlos, Chris Holmes, Eddie Royal. So we just ran through them, and it was like, okay, this is not gonna be a rivalry until I guess later.
I think Brandon and Brian Boyle are the only two from those teams that made it to varsity. Your whole Reston team played varsity. The Herndon team,
and at different schools too. Andrew Reitiger, Chris Holmes played at South Lakes. You know what he was at South Lakes.
Yeah, Herndon's, and I think Brandon's select team was he on the 18? But anyways.
Oh, Jeff Tasco. That's the one guy I remember from them.
Okay.
Jeff Tasco. Shout out Jeff Tasco. I haven't talked to him.
Shout out to Jeff, man.
I did like him.
He might listen to this, man.
I hope you're doing well, Jeff.
He was great. The time we had was great. But anyway, I didn't know anybody at Herndon, so we had the same last name. Our lockers are right next to each other because it's alphabetical order.
Yeah.
And we had some mutual friends that I ended up making just through basketball because I didn't really know anybody, anyone really. But then, my first exposure to Herndon was pickup because Coach Hall knew who I was because of him, and he knew me also just because of me and what I was doing at it. Our select team was nice, for real.
Yeah.
And all those Brad was on that team, and Brad
sounds like an AAU team.
You had an AAU team.
It was because it was that Nova United team, but early. You know what I mean? Because we were all in 6th grade or whatever. We were all 11, 12 years old. So I just met him. We met through pickup, just playing, trying to make teams or whatever, and then we just kept hanging out, and we've been friends ever since.
I used to laugh at their select team because it would be the quintessential Italian guy with the half buttoned shirt with the gold chain.
Yeah.
He's got the tucked in polo.
Right.
He's not overweight, but he's not in shape.
Right.
And he's got the dark. He's got the dark hair. He looks like the guy who's in gyms across the country, that knows every basketball player.
Oh, for sure.
He looked like Calipari before He
Yeah.
would be a Calipari's fan.
And he's
That's what
sitting
Gino was
there,
like.
and he's crazy, and he's loud, and he's got these guys just like running everyone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Philip
Simmons
played like Eddie Jones.
He ended up playing in Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Like he was a tennis player? As a tennis
Oh,
player.
you remember him? He was cool with Dominique.
Philip. Yeah.
Like, he's a black
Simmons.
dude, right?
Yes.
Is it Simmons?
Philip Simmons.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I would just be at those games watching these guys, and I'm like, my bet was on them every time they stepped on the floor.
I
Like
bet.
it was just freak athletes. Maso shooting the lights out, locking up everybody at half court. Before Maso's shot was what it became, the defense was like, you're not gonna. A screen may get him off you, may. But then he was a bigger kid, so like at the time, there's these little boys like setting screens, and Maso's like, you know, just bouncing right off of those screens.
Robbery.
Yeah, so it's like when he says at half court, that's literally what it is. Especially when you play youth league and they tell you can't come across half court. I remember Maso's a little kid standing at half court. You come across half court, it's gone.
It's fair game now.
Yeah, we would have
Yeah.
pressed if the rules allowed us to do it.
You're probably the reason why they have the rule.
Probably.
That's
It got-
probably-
it was
Wait,
not crazy.
let me ask you this. Were you a trash talker back then?
Not at all.
Okay.
I was like Michael Petrus. I didn't say
Yeah.
anything
Nothing.
ever.
Michael
Unless
Petrus.
somebody gave it to me first,
Yeah.
then I would erupt. And
I was gonna say, yeah.
Because I've done that before.
Yeah.
But usually I kind of
Because
just.
I mean,
don't.
you were never really a trash talker,
No.
but like,
I'm just trying to focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If you just get like ut up in the process,
Right.
and
It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta get into this before we get into some serious stuff. I don't know if you guys remember this, but we played 3-on-3 at Worldgate way back when. I think it was. Did you play? I think it was me, Walt, and
I was too
Beham.
young. It
was me, Walt, and Beham versus you, Mick, and Mace. And I don't know if we played a series, but you know, I think we lost by like a couple points or something. Walt was living. I hate to lose too. We were all pissed off.
Yeah.
Walt gets so pissed though.
Yeah. I remember it was like a 2-week period where it was like awkward to see you guys because we were so mad.
Battle of Hamilton.
Battle of Hamilton, man.
It
So
always gets like that, man. And I try to tell people that we keep it on the court, man.
Oh, of course.
But I mean, it's always been like that.
yeah,
It's always been like that, man. Like I want to beat you guys every time we play, and you guys want to beat us. It's
exactly.
the same. It's always been like that.
It's all love off the
being
court,
able to
man.
win.
But it's funny. The first time I met Mikhail, Austin and I played Brandon Francis and him at Haley Smith Park, right across from our
Oh wow.
That's where I first met Mikhail. So
That's what's up.
Mikhail had the afro.
Yep.
He had the bush, and Carl, Brandon's dad, was there, and our brother Beham was always trying to throw us into situations where he was trying to get us to play other kids.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they'd be shooting on the other side. He'd be like, "Look, y'all not gonna beat them, though." He'd be like, "Go play them 2-on-2." So we did. I think we ended up winning.
I can't remember. Man.
But that's
I don't
when
know how you
first
even
met-
remember any of this stuff.
Yeah, that's when I first met Mick, and then when we got to middle school, or when I got to middle school, I remember seeing Mick more because he go to the Herndon basketball camps like we would, and he played for Reston too. He went to Langston too.
Yep.
But
He followed pretty much the exact same path that I did.
exactly. But we knew he was coming to Herndon because of you.
Of course.
And then Mick and I played varsity together with Nico. Shout out to Nick, man, Mr. Foley. You're
Well, hold on, hey, I got something for you.
But yeah, man, it's crazy how our family, we all met at, like, we didn't meet each other together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you met Walt separately, you met Brandon separately, I met Mick separately randomly.
I was just around, so I
Sure,
met
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I was a baby, so
Right.
So it's just crazy, man. But I did want to get into y'all's basketball story because that's how we all met, right?
Yeah.
And you all have unique, inspiring stories because it wasn't easy for either of you. So since you're the oldest, man, I figured we can kind of get into your story, and you could go from when you first fell in love with the game to what you're doing now, man.
Yeah, man. 5 years old, man. Dr. J Hoop. I think my uncle Dino Drew League.
Shout out to Dino.
Shout out to Dino, great guy.
Commissioner, yeah, or former commissioner. My cousin Chanel's a commissioner now, but family run.
Yep.
He bought me a Dr. J hoop, man, and ever since then, it's been on for basketball. I remember there was a kid named James. I don't know whatever happened to James, but James lived like 3 doors down from my uncle, because we used to always be over Dino's house all the time, and he lived 3 doors down, and he taught me how to dribble between my legs, right? And he's just like, he's a kid who's always running the neighborhood in Watts, shirt off every day. You see him on a bike, and he was like, I don't know, he was like 7 or 8, and he'd be from in the morning till late at night. He'd be out, you know, just in the neighborhood, you know. But from then, you know, moved to Germany, played there, you know, then moved to Reno, Nevada, and I was the man in middle school. Like, I was average.
You guys lived in Nevada.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Moved to Reno. I was Billinghurst Middle School, right? We had middle school basketball, so it wasn't travel basketball. It was like high school, right? So Billinghurst, and I'm on the 7th grade A team, and I'm going off. Like, I'm doing whatever I want. We go to the neighborhood. We play, you know, some of the black schools, right? And I'm going off, you know, because I spend summers at the YMCA where everybody comes to play. University of Nevada, Reno players come, and they hang out there for community day and stuff, and we play with them. I'm going off, man. Then one day my mom says we're moving, and I'm like, what? Like, you can't move. Where are we moving to? Across the country, right? So the last day that we move, there's an assembly at middle school, and the whole school's there, and that's where they give out awards, like attendance and all that stuff, right? So I'm sitting in the front row, because I always sit in the front, like always. So I'm sitting in the front row, and partially because I'm about to get an attendance award, because I never miss school, right? So I'm sitting in the front row, and Mr. C, right, Italian guy, unbuttoned shirt, 3 gold chains, slick back hair like Pat Riley.
It's like a PE teacher?
PE teacher,
like a big
but also
coach.
the head coach of the varsity 8th grade team, right? He walks in there and everybody's like, see. Right? So like, he walks in, he stands in front, and he had, I mean, so much charisma, right? He's talking, and he's like, you know, usually we do this last, but we're gonna do it first today. And he says, I gotta surprise you guys. He unrolls this big velvet banner from the ceiling, right? And the first name that's on there, he gives this big story about the master of the wheelhouse, right? He's like, master of the wheelhouse is the guy who puts in the work, puts in the time. He's better than everybody, and he knows it, and he wants to get better every day. And the first master of the wheelhouse award for basketball is going to go to Reed Hamilton. And this big velvet banner about the size of these, like, from wall to wall rolls down, and Reed's name is here, and it has like a little quote by his name and then the year, current year. And he's like, every year we're going to give somebody a master of the wheelhouse who plays on the basketball team and exhibits excellence. And I walked in, so before that, I walked in, I got my award, like the last award to be given was the attendance award. So I got my award, little certificate. I walk in and I'm like, Mom, I'm going to be on the master of the wheelhouse next year. I know it because I'm killing this year. She's like, we're moving. And I'm like,
oh, man.
I'm like, what? I'm like, moving where? She's like, DC. So I'm heartbroken. I contemplate running away, but then it didn't work out. So we moved. Like, I really did. I really was like, yo, man, I might just like, I'll live off the street and just hoop.
Right.
You know, like,
It's crazy. Kids
like,
don't run away no more.
I am 100% telling the truth. Like, I was like, man, what if I just rolled out? Like, you know,
Kids don't do that.
So yeah, so we
don't have to
moved.
stick in a bag no more.
Nah, like, so that's my thought process. We moved. We got here. I moved here summer of 8th grade. Okay, I didn't go to elementary school here. I didn't play youth league here. I didn't have any friends here. I knew no one here. Started 8th grade here, and I'm in class, and it's all new, right? Girls didn't look the way they looked where I was at, the way they look here, right, at that time. So I see a girl walking down the hall, and she has a tennis skirt on, and she's probably inappropriate, but she's able to wear it, right? And I'm like, all right, I guess this is the East Coast, right? And that was the first thing, that was the first thing. And then, so I play travel basketball. I make the B team because I don't know anybody.
Yeah, right. You missed pretty much a whole campaign of politics.
Oh yeah,
right.
I'm the new guy.
You're late.
You're late.
And I'm fortunate to have made that, right? Because I don't know nobody, right? So I played for Coach Wiley, Ron Wiley, B team.
Yeah, good coach too.
Yeah, great coach. I talk to him still like a lot. I help his daughter sometimes too with basketball, but so play for Coach Wiley. I play with Chris Perkins, right? Play with Kenton Bergens, great guard out of Reston. And I played with a kid by the name of Ernest Winston, and we used to call him Spoon. And we get busy, man, and we play. We do a good job. I think the first time that I saw competition, we played a team named Lee District. I was late to the game, and I heard about this kid that played for Lee District, and he was going off. And I remember I was late to the game, and I walked in. This is the time that I'm really not happy about myself, right? I walked in the game, and I went down Luther Jackson. So you walk down that hall, that first hall, and you could come in the double doors that's right under the scoreboard. Yep. So I did that instead of walking in the main part, and I looked up the score, and it was like 50-20. And I was like, and I peeked in, and the dude that I had heard about is just like, at that time, he like did something and hit a three. I'm like, Dad, we're a little late. Like, we'll just forget it. We'll just skip the game. And we left, right? I will never let myself forgive walking out on competition like that, ever. Right? So that's what fuels me, like, even today about stuff. But to keep it going and make a long story short, I ended up going to South Lakes, playing freshman, doing pretty good. Sophomore year, doing all right, not getting as much playing time. Freshman year, I got a pretty decent amount, playing behind Darren Lake.
Who was like that?
Yeah, he was very good. And then sophomore year, I got a little more time because Darren Lake went to varsity. But Matt Stanmeyer, great shooter, great player. He played in front of me. 11th grade year, I didn't make varsity. I made JV again. Pissed off, right? But not pissed to the point where I'm mad. Pissed off that I'm even being considered as this, right?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And when I got cut that day, Coach Bird brought me in the office along with Charlie Archibald. No disrespect to Charlie Archibald, great guy. But I didn't think he was on my level as a player at all. And they put us together and cut us together, right? They were like, you guys have the option to play JV. And at the time, I was like, what? Like, JV, what? You mean varsity?
Right.
He's like, no, JV. And I was like, all right.
VJ, varsity, junior.
But see, the thing about the way that it happened is at the beginning of the last tryout, right? Before we even started hooping. So we're all sitting at half court. He calls just us two. Everybody sees us get up and go in there. And then we got to come back and play the rest of the 90 minutes or whatever, right? And they all know the deal, like, because it's him and me, right? Yeah. If it was just me, it would be like, oh, maybe he's got something for him or something. But if it's me and this guy, there's already a preconceived notion.
You already know
this guy.
who you're attached to.
Yeah. So I get in there, and I get cut, and I got a decision to make. Right. At the time, I'm working out with Coach Kitchen, Kitchen, and skill development wasn't really like a big thing back then. No. But Kitchen was doing it, and
he was a guy out here. Like, he was one of the very few.
Yeah, and I was like, and he used to train out of Worldgate, so I used to go to Worldgate, train with him, and Christy Winters, head coach for South Lakes. Yeah, so I used to go out there and work out, and he's like, I heard you made JV, and I was like, yeah. And he's like, what you think about that? And I said, I don't know if I'll play. I might just sit out this year. He's like, well, do you love to play basketball? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, what are we talking about then? He's like, the only thing you got to do is when you play, you got to go to a whole nother level, right? Like, you got to really dominate and kill everybody. And I said, all right, and whatever, And I went out there to practice the first time. And there's all these little kids out here practicing with me, and I just felt so out of place, right? And I wasn't angry. I was just like, did I let myself get here? Like, and I started thinking about, is there something I missed that I didn't, like, check the box on that got me here? And then I was like, maybe not, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
It's probably like when Kobe was Because point guard was Smush Parker or something like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
But it was just, I mean, no disrespect to those guys. Those guys, those freshmen and sophomores are great guys. But I was different, and I knew I was different, right? So in practice, I was just going off. And then in games, I would just make sure, I mean, I was dominating in games. And just like Coach Kitchen said, and when varsity walked in, I went to another level, right? When varsity would walk in, and I'd see Dustin Halenga and Darren and Duke and Coach Bird and everybody else, I would just go ham, man. Like, I would just, at that point, it was, and I lie to you not, it felt like the gym just went empty, and I was just in there. Yeah. And I wasn't, I couldn't hear. I remember playing at Centerville, I had 25 at halftime. Because, and I have tape of it, and I was just like, you know what, varsity walked in, and because Centerville's a big gym, you can kind of like, when they walk in, it's like there's no missing them.
It's a long walk.
Yeah.
It's a long walk, so they're
exactly
walking,
it's like
and
a stroll.
and I happen to be, the ball is getting inbound to me, because I'm starting point guard, of course. I mean, JV. So I'm bringing the ball up, and I see them start to walk in, and for a minute I stop moving. And then I keep going, and then it was I remember the first play I did when they came in. It was an in and out, and I went to the basket and laid it up, and I didn't move. And they passed the ball in, and the dude took 2 dribbles. I took it back from him, laid it up again, and then we just started rolling. Like,
did you look at Coach Bird after?
I looked at him the whole time. Like, I looked at the whole coaching staff, and I wasn't upset at them. I was just like, you missed one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you missed. I mean, I don't know what you got over there. From 1 to 12, but I guarantee one of them shouldn't be there, and I should be over there. You missed one.
Yeah.
But that was my whole thought process with that. And then fast forward, you know, I had to get myself into school, so I edit mixtapes. You know, my mom worked at the National Education Association, so Sewell, the editing guy up there, media guy, he put my clips together. So I gave him video, and he just mixed the clips together.
Yeah.
That when I sent that everywhere, and I got some bites back, but not really. So then I just started going to schools that I qualified academically. Went to Cheney to take the exam to get in. I got in, and I was gonna play there. I talked to the coach. They had open gym that day, you know, and I stayed up there for a weekend. So they had open gym like both of those days, and killing everybody in there. You know, I had a couple guys who played that were pretty good. So I was like, yeah, I can go here. Then I went to LA for the summer, played at Southwest Open Run, and I was like, man, maybe I can just live out in LA and play at Southwest. So I did that for the first year.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Played at South Lakes or Southwest, running Cougars in Watts, right off of Imperial and Normandy. So when you hear about like all the movies like Boys in the Hood,
Friday.
So right off of there, and man, running laps on the track at 4 o'clock, building up to a mile, so a lap every day till we got to 2 miles, and then hit the weight room for an hour, and then hit the gym for an hour.
Clocking in, man.
Clocking in, man. There was a dude named Stan there. Stan was this little short, fat guard that was like 20, and Stan used to rough me up all the time. He said he was gonna fight me every day, and you know, I said.
Only in JUCO.
Like so he's gonna fight me every day. So I got there, and then you know, we won a championship there, but I was a red shirt, so I didn't get a ring there. I don't know how they finessed that, but I didn't get it. I should have got one, but we won. And then Corey Maggette, all his boys, when he came to play for the Clippers, he brought all his boys from Chicago, and they all played at Southwest.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. So I played with them, and then moved on to apprentice school, and got a national championship there.
Anytime you ever win, I tell kids all the time, like, anytime you win any sort of championship, man, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
man, like, it's hard to win games, but let alone a championship.
Yeah.
So, like,
man,
hold that to your heart, man, because that's big time.
Before I went there, I was playing in Drew League in the summer, and I remember Coppin State came, and the head coach or one of the guys on the staff, he's like, hey, tell me about yourself. I was like, well, let me go get my uncle, because I'm just a kid. My uncle. So he came out, and we talked, and he actually wanted me to come play at Coppin.
Okay.
I don't know where that conversation went, because I let my guardian at the time, because I was living out in LA with my uncle, I let him handle that conversation. But I was playing with USC's summer league. So you know how they had, they used to have Stonegate League and like McLean League.
Yeah,
varsity would play like McLean, and then whoever else would play Stonegate. So that was the same way USC did it. So USC had a team that played in Drew, and then they also had a team that played wherever else they were at, right?
Yeah.
So not all the players at USC, but some of them were, including like some of their better players played with us. And he saw me one game, and I had a good game, and he asked me, and I don't know where that went, but I went to Apprentice and finished out there. So
yeah, man. Round of applause, man.
A lot of lessons and good stuff like that.
Yeah, a couple things. If anyone ever describes you as a great guy, you're not it, man. You know what I'm saying? He's a great guy. It always comes with a butt after.
Yeah.
So you weren't you thought you were that dude. You thought you were that dude, but you get described as a great guy a lot.
Nobody's great.
That's it's not it's a personal compliment. As an athlete,
when it comes to this here basketball, that ain't it, man.
No.
if someone ever starts, look, he was a great guy. He was great kid.
Yeah.
Great kid. High character kid.
But he's not going to play.
But the other thing, actually, you just touched on it, man. And this is a life thing. You never know who's watching.
Yeah.
You never know who's watching, and you only get one first impression. And I know the way you all were raised, and I didn't really, learn as much about it until recently. But I'm not surprised that, that's how you guys live your life, man. So. And Tau shows that he loves the game, and we'll get into some of the stuff he's doing after that here after we hear Maso's story. But if you love something, man, you're gonna figure out a way to make it happen. Yeah. And you can't take a championship away from somebody.
Nope.
Banner, ring, like that's a part of your legacy forever. Yeah. And now you're passing the baton to your son, your daughter, and other kids, man. So. It's awesome, man. Awesome to hear that. Mace, man, Big Mace. I want to hear a little bit more about you, man. I only really know about a little bit about your high school and some college, but I'm sure you got a lot of funny stories and great stuff to give insight on, man. So I'll let you have the floor.
Yeah, I mean, my basketball story. It's like a lot of ups and downs. A lot of ups though. So like him, I started playing young, like kindergarten. When we were in Reno, I started like realizing that I was better than a lot of kids my age pretty early, like 8 years old. Playing youth league in Reno. It's house league, right? But we're all the same age. I'm scoring pretty easily. Like, I'm not blowing people away, but I'm definitely better than the second best kid on my team, who was also very good. Yeah. But I know I'm better than him, and together we're better than everybody.
Right.
Playing against him, one-on-one, I can remember that game we played to 100. He was, we had a basketball in the driveway in Reno. I was like 8, so you were probably like, 12?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He was Penny Hardaway. I was Nick Van Exel. Yeah. All right?
Yeah,
that's great. We played to 100, and of course I lost. But it was like 2 weeks to finish that game.
Yeah,
we always
score.
I was about to say, was that in one day?
No. It was it was done.
Write it down or you
got it?
I think we just agreed
That sounds
on a number.
heated.
I think it's like you're not forgetting
there was no fudging. We were, because it was serious. I'm trying to win. You know what I'm saying? I've never beat him before. I'm trying to win. I don't know really what it means for him, but I'm trying to win.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping the score right. I'm not trying to fudge it because I'm not going to cheat myself. I'm gonna win. I'm actually gonna do it.
Yeah.
I lost, right? So anyway, I'm playing against kids my age. It's easy work. We end up moving the summer after 3rd grade for me, right? Got here. Contrast to him, like the perfect time for me because I'm 9, so I'm in elementary school, 4th grade.
Yeah.
And I go out for the select. No. I played youth league twice. That's when I first encountered Doug McLaughlin-Williams. Who was crazy even then, right? In youth league. Yeah. Young remember Doug.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
6'7".
6'8".
Oh, he was 6'8".
Real, like every bit of it.
But he was a guard.
Yeah, he was.
He was a legit
he was
guard. He could do everything.
He was 5'10" one summer. And then
the next summer he was 6'8". So anyway, that was when I first encountered Doug. Was youth league, right? He was nuts, and he ended up doing what he went off and did whatever he did. Play again the next year with Dennis Lee. My dad's the coach, and Dennis Lee's dad, right? Dennis Lee's dad is the head coach, and my dad's the assistant coach. We're not destroying teams, but my dad sees that same situation. I'm the best player on the team by far. There's another really good player on the team, Dennis Lee. Shout out to Dennis Lee, but he wasn't on my level. Okay,
Right.
and let's just keep it a buck.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk that talk, man.
Look, it's what it is. I love Dennis, but all right, this is what it is.
Dennis isn't a great guy. He's not a great guy category.
He can play.
He can play.
He can hoop.
He's not a great. I mean, I'm sure he's a great guy. But you guys get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. But he's not going to stop me from doing what I want to do.
Right.
If he's matched up with me.
Fact.
Okay. So, anyway, the next year, 11 years old, I first go out for select at Reston Select. I heard I'm watching. You have to understand. Listen to his story. That's the backdrop for my life at this point, because I know what he was and what he is. Like, he was a beast. Okay. Like, he was doing stuff that I've never seen anybody else do.
Still to this day.
Still to this day, but back when he was like explosive and young and like spry and had all his legs, I mean, he was a problem. Everywhere.
Yeah.
When we go to LA, he'd be a problem in LA. It's just in Drew League neighborhoods, LA. You know what I'm saying?
That's a different kind of bump.
It's different, right? And I'm watching it because, of course, I'm not very effective at that point, but I'm old enough to be on the court, and I'm watching what he's doing. It's crazy. I know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So when he's getting cut from 18, I'm like, man, that's not happening to me.
Yeah.
Right. So I grind. I get to tryouts. I do well in tryouts. This is my first time playing select, so I don't know. I'm not in the politics, right? Because I'm not new, but I haven't been there like since kindergarten, like a lot of these kids.
Right.
So I'm kind of just waiting to see what happens. Gino, he described him perfectly. He's loud. He's abrasive. He's very Italian.
It's like he's just a Big East coach, like back in the day. He just sounds like a Big East coach.
Yeah. He's got gold bracelets, gold rings. I mean, he's intimidating, right? And I'd never seen anybody like that before. Okay, so he's running the tryout. There's another, the B team coach is there. I'm not trying to be on the B team, right? So I'm trying to do my thing. I'm playing hard, and then when it comes to picking teams, like we line up, and if you're up in Langston Hughes, in that gym there's a stage.
Yeah.
Stage.
Yeah.
You guys go here, and then if I call your name, you go here. If I call your name, point that way, you go here. He calls Brad Farrell first. There's no Brad. At this time, his hand was in a cast. Calls Brad Farrell first. He goes the whole time with like a broken hand. No problem, right? Brad Farrell. Then he calls Chris Holmes. Then he calls a couple other guys to go the other way. He calls me to go with Chris and Brad. I watched them hoop and try out, so I'm like, okay. He's calling me with these guys, like you said, who you're attached to. It's like, I feel like I'm good.
Yeah.
Right? I feel all right if I'm with these, because they were hooping. So, I think I might be straight. Keeps calling names, Russ, Chris, everybody. I'm like, all right, this is definitely the 18. Without us knowing, like, this has got to be because everybody was balling on the squad that I'm standing with. This has to be the team, and those guys were not balling. Right? So that's just what it was. So that's our team. Carlos Geis, shout out to Carlos Geis. He's on the team. Andrew Ridiger, Brian Boyle, Brad, Punchy, Malachi,
Oh my God.
Andy Royal, Philip Simmons. And then me, right? And so we're good. We don't win our champion. We go to the championship game twice. We lose to Vienna twice. High school. My dad sees the type of player I'm playing AAU. All that. My dad sees that I'm never on the B team. He sees that I'm good, like objectively good.
Right.
Better. He's a cut above a lot of these other kids that are his age who are also good.
Yeah.
Right. My dad sees that, so he's like, I know. Like there was no my dad didn't think me going to South Lakes I'd get benched, right? But he did think that there was a possibility it could happen.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what that's about, right? Parents aren't allowed to, practice is closed. So nobody knows what's going on there except for the coaches and the players. So, all right? So there was a degree of doubt in my dad's head. It's like, I think he can go there and kill because he's playing with the South Lakes. This is a South Lakes team. He's getting a ton of minutes. Sometimes he starts, right? I'm averaging probably 12 points. So I'm key.
Yeah, man.
For
sure.
And it's like, so if he goes there, it's probably going to be more of the same, but I don't know, right? And frankly, I don't think they deserve him. That was my dad's, you don't really deserve to have a player like this.
Yeah.
So he sends me to Herndon. I get to Herndon, Coach Hall sees me. He already knew about our select team, but he's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I go to school here. He's like, oh, all right. So, this is like a surprise. It just he was expecting Brad. He's expecting, Danny Hardesty. He's expecting Danny Hardesty. He's expecting Boyle. right, from that crop. He's expecting me to be at South Lakes.
Yeah.
I'm not at South Lakes. I'm here in the hallway talking to you, right? So he's like, all right, bet. Kind of just walks off. He wasn't really there with y'all, but this dude.
I know Hall. Hall was there the first 2
know
years.
if he is autistic or suffers from some type of autism. I don't know. There's an argument to be made that he might. All right, just by the way.
I'm interested to know where this is going.
All right, just by the way he carries himself. I mean, he is a difficult person.
He is. Yeah.
Okay. So we go to during open gym we go to tryouts freshman year. Coach Hall, I'm going to freshman tryouts. BM Center, right?
Yep.
I'm about to walk in. Coach Hall's like, "No, your tryouts at 5:30." I'm like, I don't understand. He's like, "You're trying out at 5:30. You're not going to this tryout." I'm like, "All right, bet. I guess I'm at school for another 2 hours without practice. So I guess I don't know. I'll just go and study my Spanish homework. I'm trying to hoop. Like, why can't I just do 2 tryouts?" But I'm not about to like talk about it. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I go and F off for like 2 hours, right? Going back to the JV try in the auxiliary gym. Freshman's just wrapping up. Coach Bedford is like, "Yeah, you're about to try with JV." He's like, "Don't trip." Because at this point I'm like, man, this is wild. This is like I'm playing up, and these kids are like they look like JV. Right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they don't look like freshmen. They don't look
Yeah.
like freshmen. So, and I don't look like JV. Right? I got the confidence in my game, but still, I don't. This is still an unknown area. I don't know what I'm really walking into, but I know that I'm playing up. So Bedford's like, "Don't trip. I mean, if you don't make the team, you can just come play for me." So I'm like, all right. So I'm playing high school basketball regardless. So I got nothing to lose. I'm playing with house money. Get to the tryout. I don't play well the first tryout. Second tryout comes, I play a little bit better. Third tryout comes, I play even better. But then I chip my tooth reaching for a ball, point guard. And I still chipped, right? But anyway, I'm thinking I might not have made the team because there were players in that tryout that were playing better than me. Mm-hmm. Coach Wayne and Coach S were the coach. Coach S is assistant, but Coach Wayne is the head coach. You didn't know Coach Wayne.
I didn't know Coach Wayne. Yeah.
Coach Wayne, varsity coach in JV is what he was, right? Mm-hmm. Super philosophical, history teacher, so he's like super smart,
right? Great
guy, insightful guy. He brings me in the room. It's just me and him. He says, "Look, I don't think you played well in the tryout, but I believe you're a player. I believe in you. I'm gonna put you on this team, and we're gonna see what happens." So I'm like, I just made JV as a freshman. Wild.
Big man on campus too.
I came in here not really expecting anything. The only person playing up, and Boyle made the team. So it's me and Brian Bull, freshman, and then the only other freshman playing up at this time is Brad, who is, he's the guy. He's playing varsity, and he's like in the rotation, right? Yeah, for sure. Right?
Did he start as a freshman?
No.
Okay.
He came off the bench, but he came off the bench.
How tall is he?
Key moments, like 6'3".
As a freshman?
Yeah,
Jeez.
like about 6'2", 6'3". Still he was dunking with ease already, right? Anyway, so we do the whole freshman year. I'm playing pretty well, but I'm behind some upperclassmen. Coach Wayne gets a varsity job. He leaves after my freshman year. Coach S takes over as the head coach, JV. I'm thinking, I'm ready for varsity. I should be on varsity. I look at the varsity team, they're not very good. Justin Smith is
that was 02, right?
Yeah.
That team was awful. That team was disgusting.
I'm better than Justin Smith, right? Like in my head, I'm like, I'm better than him right now.
You were better than him as a freshman.
Yeah, and I'm a sophomore. I'm a freshman at this point. But this is like turning my sophomore year. I'm like, I'm better than him right now. I mean, if he's gonna be your best player, I'm on the team. Walter Bell. He's a great guy, actually.
He went to our church.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Homeschooled kid, great guy.
That Herndon.
What a guy, man.
It's on MTV.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was on.
He's on that Raiders thing.
He was.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
but you know what that means if he's a great guy.
That team was awful.
That team was terrible.
Jordan Short on the team. Shout out Jordan Short. Right?
Yo, for the listeners, you're gonna get a lot of the Kawhi laugh. Maso's a funny dude, man.
Anyway.
Hey guys, thanks for clocking in with us and making it this far into the episode. We want to continue these episodes for as long as possible, but we might need your help. If you click on the description on each episode, you'll find a link that reads support this podcast. If you enjoy keeping up with us, click on that link and you can make a monthly donation. All right, you guys hear enough of me talking anyways, so let's get back into the episode.
That's the team. Coach Hall, of course. I'm playing JV. I'm playing with Brandon and Papa Robinson. Those are our best players. I know going in, first of all, the JV tryout sophomore year was not a tryout for me. Before I started the tryout, I'm like, you're not understanding the situation, the dynamic here, okay? I'm the team. I am the team. Everything's going to run through me this whole year. All right? This is what it is. Sit back. Okay? I'm better than everyone here. I've been working all summer. Okay? So, like, I believe I shouldn't be here in the first place. And the thing is, this is off-putting because, again, I'm young for my class. Because all these kids are older than me by, like, some months. Right? But these are the facts, though. Right? I was here before y'all.
You were on.
I spent a full year here when y'all were playing after school.
Right after school.
Yeah.
Yo, freshman is wild, bro.
As soon as the bell rings.
You literally, you might have to miss the last 30 minutes of your 7th period class to make it on the bus. Depending on who you're playing against.
I know you did.
And I don't even know how I got to practice, like, because that show was at like 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
bro.
Right after school, bro. I don't know.
Games were at 4.
Yeah, 4 o'clock. I remember. I would watch. I was there. I would watch I'm in the stands. Like, this is crazy. I had to like stay after class and like to talk with my teacher for like 5 minutes, and the first quarter just ended.
Right.
I missed 25% of the game. Right?
The horn always makes an echo every time.
Right.
Nobody's there. People are studying in the stands. This is not the environment that I'm trying to play in anyway. Right? But this is what y'all played in. Right? I've never seen that. So don't come up here trying to big talk me. Okay? Like, because there were kids doing that. Kevin Grant was one. Oh, you're a gunner. Yes. That is what I do. Right? But if I get hot, it's over. We're going to have a win here. So just chill. You're not going to be part of a winning team.
That's a fact.
It's going to be because of me, though.
Yo, that's a fact right now. Like, if Maso gets hot, no matter what league
It's
we're playing
over.
in, it's just like, I mean, it's a party.
I've seen Mason go like 15 straight points.
No, when we played in the Gum Springs League, yo, I got ejected, right? They kicked me out. And they're like, you gotta go home. I was like, I don't live around here, bro. Like, I don't know where you want me to go. You want me to come kick it at some gas station until the game's over? I'm gonna sit right here in this hallway, alright? I'll leave the gym. Maso gets pissed off. I think you had 60 that game.
53.
53. All I heard, right, was just yelling, right? It was just like people like cheering and stuff, and everybody's like, because at that point, I mean, he was just going off. And I was like, damn, man, like, can I just, am I gonna, like, what are they gonna do if I peek my head in and see what's going on in here, you know? But, I mean, he's just balling. Like, he's just going off, man. And Gum Springs at that time, it was like you're going into the neighborhood.
Gum Springs. It's the trenches out there.
I have a story about Gum
You're going, and the court is like a half court, almost like a little over a half
That's
court.
all like
But anyway,
the whole community shows up.
Everybody shows up.
Yeah,
We went ham.
yeah.
But look, so sophomore year, Coach S is endorsing everything I'm saying. He's like, yeah, this is what it is, right? No games, no frills, no tricks. Coach S and I, look, I'm gonna shoot when I'm gonna shoot.
Yeah.
Do it. Ultra green light, Steph Curry. Whenever you decide, that's what we're going with.
Yeah.
That's the type of coach I had sophomore year. So I'm glad to have had a coach like that who knew what the deal was and just kind of let me rock. Right? We ended up going 9-7. I'm playing with BM in the backcourt, and that was no disrespect to BM. That was more about because BM and I were on the same chemistry. We were killing. We had great chemistry. We played well together. We did well. Never would I have thought that he was in doubt of not making the team the next year.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
Never.
Yeah.
That should.
That surprised me.
that should.
I know that's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
But I saw that, you know what I mean, and I was just like, I mean, I'm doing my own thing, so I'm like, I got to get myself. I'm like, wow, I just took a segment. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, we all know what that was.
Yeah, of course.
Ricky was a star player. His best friend Chuka.
Yeah,
no disrespect to Chuka.
He's a great guy too.
He's a great guy. But you know what it is.
guy.
You beat me to the punch.
He's a
So
good guy.
sophomore year, we go 9-7, but I cook everybody, right? There's one time after practice, Coach Hall, mad at our team, comes in and he goes, y'all think y'all got to pass the varsity? Y'all better pick it up because this is not going to be a guarantee for y'all. And of course, everybody's looking at me like, I'm like, bruh, he's not talking to me. He's talking to y'all.
Yeah.
Right? I'm also practicing with varsity at this time too, right? So I'm like doing I'm doing double work. I'm hooping with the JV squad. Then right after, I'm in my sweatsuit and I'm on the bench with varsity. So I'm watching how bad this team is, like up front. Okay. So anyway, sophomore year ends. We get to junior year. Again, this is not a tryout. We're playing. This is an open run. We're just sharpening our skills or whatever. I'm going like 75%. I'm on the team, right? So we get Ricky coming in, right? That changed the dynamic of everything. And then we get Scotty the same year.
Two, Division I players.
Chips.
All Mets.
All region.
Yeah. So we went from nowhere to Thanos.
Contender.
Right.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Like, it was Rick, Jordan, Short, Scotty, Brad, Boyle.
Yep.
And then we had Larry that year too.
Larry, yeah.
Larry, me, well, before, at the beginning of the season, it was Larry, Colin Reynolds, who came off the bench, right? Because those were my first, like, the guys I played with JV freshmen were now on varsity.
Right.
Only me and Paco were there from our class.
Right.
Right, so Coach Hall was right. Like, 2 of us out of how many?
Yeah.
12?
Yeah, 12. Probably 15 kids on
not great
JV,
odds. So he was right. He cut the whole team, right? Except for me and Pac.
Right. Was
So
Nolan on that team?
No, not as a sophomore.
Okay.
No way. So that was our junior squad. We're hooping. We go undefeated in the district regular season. By this point, I'm getting sick. I'm getting pretty good minutes.
Yeah.
Right, because I kind of worked my way to the rotation late. We go through. We're ranked in the state like top 5, right? So we're nice. We go to the regionals. We beat Hayfield in the regional semis, who was nice at that time.
I remember at Robinson.
Yeah.
I remember Scotty came late.
No, that was South Lakes.
Oh, South Lakes.
He had to go to church.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, that's
right.
We'll get Scotty on the pod one of these days.
Shout out Scotty Reynolds. But so we beat Hayfield. We lose to South Lakes in the regional finals to South Lakes at Robinson after we lost them in the district finals that same year. We go down to Maury for the regional quarterfinals.
State
Quarterfinals.
Yeah.
State quarterfinals at Maury. We lose over the loudspeaker. The announcer announces that South Lakes have won. So we were feeling super bad because we could have met them for a state championship game. That
I
remember
remember
we were on opposite sides.
We're both in the semis,
so it could have been a Herndon South Lakes state championship.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right?
And you could have beat them when it counted.
In the state championship.
That's
How
crazy.
crazy would that have been?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that didn't happen. That didn't materialize because we lost. They ended up going to the state championship and losing to Highland Springs. Senior year comes around. Senior year, spot is open. Jordan leaves. I'm like, that's my spot. I'm going to start this year. Like, I played in the Drew League, did well in the Drew League. Went off in the Drew a couple of games.
Do you have footage of that?
No, but I'm sure my uncle has it somewhere.
You gotta find that, bro.
But yeah, no, it was all jumpers, but I hit them.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
You know what I'm saying? So senior year comes. Senior year is me, Brad, Boyle, who were there, and Scotty, of course, who was there from that junior year campaign, that 2003 campaign. Russell Watts transfers in from Flint Hill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6'7".
6'7", right? So people are like, oh,
He's
Russell's gonna come in and start at the 3, right? And I'm like, that's my spot though. How's that gonna happen? How can we both play the same spot? Right? And so, we get to playing and, we're doing open runs. And, Russell's nice. I played with Russell was another guy on that select team.
He's like Paul Gasol.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. But when he
He's
gets going
not a
though,
three.
when he gets
the
popping though,
the Memphis Paul Gasol.
yeah, because sometimes he
He
didn't
was
take you
beautiful.
outside and take you off the dribble too, and he can shoot.
Yeah.
So I mean, he had a lot of like little interesting skills to his game, and a lot of like unique skills that other people in our squad
He was a
didn't have.
finesse guy.
He was for
He
sure.
was not.
His dad played for the Celtics,
Oh, he
right?
was.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I ended up beating out Russ for that spot. Coach Hall starts him at the 4. So the starting 5 is Brad Farrell, Scotty Reynolds, me, Russell Watts, Brian Boyle. Larry's in 6.
And Boyle was like Bill Lambier, for guys who
That's what he
don't
was.
know
He was
him.
the enforcer.
Yeah, he's Bill Lambier.
He's Bill Lambier. Shout out Brian Boyle. We run through everybody. South Lakes leaves to go to the Liberty District. We go undefeated.
Scared.
Yeah. We beat, we ran through Errol and Matt Hale twice. Errol and Matt Hale were
I
nasty.
love Errol and Matt.
Errol and Matt Hale were nasty. Shout out to Errol and Matt. They were nasty. That's why I talk about it, because that was like our biggest competition that year.
Yeah.
You know,
They were also younger too.
They were a year younger.
So it wasn't their turn.
No, it wasn't. They had their turn the next year.
Yeah.
But we ran through them.
Yeah.
We ran through them. We ran through Chuck. Chuck was nice. We had to run through Chuck 3 times.
Greg Sy was on that team too, right?
He was, but Chuck Yavi was the...
Chuck was the guy.
He scored 40 in that.
40.
Y'all won by like 40, but
That's
he
right.
had 40.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, that's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it was cool. He dropped him 40, but it's like, man, what's it all for? Like, this is going to be the 3rd time, man, we're going to the district finals. If you're not, your season's over. You know what I'm saying? So we beat them. We beat them my senior year. We beat them 3 times. We go to the district finals. We beat Oakton district finals. Ran through Jared Kubin 3 times. And then we went to regionals. We lost to South Lakes in the regional semis. I go to prep school. Do my thing at prep school. Me and Chuck go up there together.
Where was the school?
Maine Central Institute.
Okay.
It's a NEPSAC school. NEPSAC stands for like National New England Prep School Association, whatever, prep school conference.
What was that like, man?
It was an experience.
Yeah.
Everybody was really good. It was different from high school, Fairfax County.
A different type of hunger too.
Different type of hunger, because all those kids were the man at every school they came from.
Yeah.
You had a dude who was nasty from Boston.
Yeah.
You had a dude who was nasty from, New York.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Another
like
guy,
D2.
Yeah.
Yeah, another guy who was nasty, from San Antonio.
Yeah.
And then me and Chuck, I mean, you know what our story was.
Yeah.
Like, we are too. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have this. Like, I got all the awards also, right? Those were crazy battles.
I bet.
We had a dude on that team from Capitol Heights that ended up playing for the Miami Heat and became the greatest basketball player in Siena College history.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He was unbelievable, but he wasn't even the best player on the team, which was crazy. But that just goes to show the type of talent that I played with. And then we played Brewster Academy. That was nuts. We played Bridgeton, Winchendon. I mean, it's just a bunch of prep schools, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what you think.
Yeah,
it's what you see in a movie.
yeah.
That's
Nah,
what it
I'm
is.
thinking Mighty Ducks D3 was like that.
Yeah, that's what it was. Everybody's got uniforms on. It's the Northeast, so everybody's uber proper. They make great French toast. They do. You know what I'm saying? So, it was like that everywhere we
French
went
toast
where we
is
tried.
underrated.
It was fire. So I do my thing there. I don't get a scholarship. I end up going to my uncle pulls some strings, puts me on the ICANN All-Star AAU team. ICANN All-Stars were a Drew League team that also had an AAU team.
Mm-hmm.
Puts me on the squad with them. I go to a tryout. I do great. Puts me on the A team.
Led by Jim Brown's son.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns?
Jimmy Brown?
Wow.
Yeah, it's Rock, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I'm playing on the ICANN AAU team. We're playing out in LA. I'm playing in the Vegas big time tournament, right? Doing my thing at the big time tournament. Got a couple looks. Tulane got really interested while I was out there, me. But then Hurricane Katrina happened.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's 05, so that
05,
makes
so watch
makes
that out.
sense.
I keep playing, keep on. Big time tournament ends. Then I go play in the same team. We go play against Taylor King at the Loyola Marymount tournament. Wash them. Taylor King, nice, right?
Lefty, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
stroke.
Yeah.
Stroke.
He played in the UK for a while.
He fell off a ton in college,
Yeah, he did.
epic fall.
Yeah.
Because we're Duke fans, so
Yeah, I
we
know.
saw it.
I know. Yeah,
we
he
saw
was there
it.
1 year, and then he wasn't.
Like, who is this guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he fell off hard. But anyway, in at that time, he was the new Chase Budinger. That's what they were holding.
He's
out.
McDonald's All-American.
McDonald's
Yeah,
All-American,
yeah.
absolutely, yep. But I have a great tournament there. I end up going off for 35 in 3 or 4 straight games. And Angelo State coach is there. He puts a bug in my coach's ear. My coach tells me they're interested. Go on an official visit after the tournament. I fall in love with the school. It's D2 school. You go into the arena, I mean, it looks like Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
It's, it's you could tell they put money into it, much like what I was saying about
Virginia Wesleyan, yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I remember seeing pictures of it, man.
Yeah, you just look up the Junell Center, Stevens Center Arena. It is so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? All the facilities they're Division I facilities.
Mhm.
I mean, and there's a difference when you play
Yes.
these D1. You play
Yes.
your brother,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Look at your locker room, it's like, yeah, this is fire. Then you go up to Elon, it's like, wow, they've got PlayStations in here.
I had a stool and a homemade locker. That was my locker room. bro.
Yeah.
He walks in his joint. There's a picture of him, like
Yeah.
there's
Action
shot.
shot.
He has 3.
It's different,
It's
man.
different, man.
So we weren't at that level. We didn't have PlayStations, but we did have a nice little players' room. We had a little lounge area, and again, the training facilities, the gym was fire, and the education was good too, right? So I ended up signing the day of the visit. No, that's not true. I ended up signing 2 days after because they faxed the letter of intent over.
Yeah.
I signed the letter.
You have a picture, you don't have a letter up.
I signed the letter at home and sent it back. Freshman year, I'm the only freshman on the team because it's a JUCO conference, basically. It's
Right.
a JUCO transfer conference. We go to JUCO transfer in.
Exactly.
So everybody's a junior, and everybody's like there are a lot of older people too. I came in with 4 other freshmen, so it's 5 of us. I'm the best out of the 5, like offensively.
Right.
Nobody had what I had in that group. But then we had another dude who was like super athletic. He do like the rock the cradle. I mean, I never seen anyone do that live until I saw him do it, and I was like, that was amazing. Like he went up 1 foot, it was just like
Clean too.
Clean.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, yo, that's wild,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I see why you're here. Okay?
Right, yeah. You earned it.
Yeah, I get it. And then the other dude's this white dude from Corpus Christi, who's nice. I mean, he was slower, but he had a nice handle. He could score a little bit. He was good. And then we had 2 post guys, so big, pretty skilled post guys. They all redshirt. I play. So my freshman year, I don't do a ton. My sophomore year is when I start kind of getting a little reckless, scoring double figures often. This one game, I had like 14 or 15, 3 or 4 threes off the bench. We don't make the conference tournament that year. My junior year comes. No. My freshman year, the coach that signed me gets fired because we go 0-12, right? And then sophomore year comes, new coach, new recruits. Right, he brings his guys.
Yeah.
I don't transfer because I don't got time for my credits to not be transferring to different places.
Right,
I'm
it's
not
your
gonna
last
be
year.
27 in college.
Join Dan Wilder.
I'm not gonna be that,
Yeah.
right? No disrespect, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
So I end up playing. Coach has me kind of in the rotation, but sometimes not. I would get some nips at times, but there were some stretches I play a lot. You just never really knew. But I had some games where I started getting a little reckless, scoring a little bit more, kind of going off for multiple threes in games, in big games. Junior year comes, we're a little bit better, and then we make the conference tournament. I posted on IG. I went off. We had a dude on the squad, Marcus Hubbard, who ended up playing against Kobe for the Clippers. Strange enough. Kobe's his hero. He gets to play against him, right?
Sheesh.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. 6'9", 2 guard. He basically was Kevin Durant. That's no hyperbole. I'm not.
Yeah, no, I trust you.
That's what he was.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean he's 6'9", he can handle, he can shoot, he can do all the dunks. No way we should lose. There ain't nobody else around on this level who looks like that.
Right.
Okay, so we get to playing. Of course, Marcus has his games where he's going off for 30 and 34 points. We get to the conference quarterfinal, and we're playing against this dude, Sam Belt, who's basically Jared Koopman but in college. Always dropping 30 points.
It's like a 6'3".
Yeah,
post.
6'3" post, just
Efficient.
dropping 30, 20 rebounds, 30. Just like, these are gaudy numbers.
Yeah.
Zion
right?
Williamson.
Yeah,
like,
not super skilled, but just nice at
Shot
putting the
like
ball through the hoop.
60%.
60%,
Yeah.
never taking bad shots, just getting it done, right? Anyway, playing against him, first half, they do a hard foul on him. Marcus leaves the game, flagrant 1. I shoot the free throws. So I have 2 or 4 points in the first half. The second half, I go nuclear, right? I start dropping threes. Like, I can't miss.
Right.
Like, I ended up dropping 6 in the half.
Second half.
Wow.
Gee.
Before I went ham, we were down by like 20, almost 30. I brought us back to within 8, but I missed my last one. And then they hit the free throws, and they closed the game out.
Right.
But I went ham in a massive game. That was our first time being in the conference tournament in like 8 years.
Right.
And our like main dude wasn't there. And like I outscored most of the guys that I was playing with that game. And I shot like 70%. Like I'm hooping.
Right. That's mainly from 3.
Mainly from 3, and I'm bringing us back. And this is like against a nationally ranked team. Like this is what it is. So the next year we come in, I'm expecting to be like have like a bigger role as my senior year. Brings in another new crop of guys. None of them are better than me, but these are his guys. So y'all both know this. College, you have your morning workouts. You also got individuals.
Yep.
Your individuals, you're basically going one-on-one with the guys that play your spot.
Right.
It can be 4 of you, 4 guards. Your individual workout is going to consist of those 4 guards every day. When you have an individual, you expect to see the same 3 guys.
Yeah.
And this is how we're going to determine who's going to play.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? The dude that gets the better of all of you, he's going to start. The dude, and then you just file in. The weakest one, he might not be here next year.
Facts, yeah.
Okay? So, of course, in my individual workouts, there were times where I was giving it to everybody. Because if I get hot and we're in a controlled environment like that, it's going to look bad. Because you're going to see me making these crazy shots.
Yeah.
And there's only 4 of us out here. Sometimes just 2 of us if it's one-on-one,
Yeah.
right? And if I'm going off like this, there's nowhere else to look.
Yeah.
This is the action.
Can't get saved.
You can't get saved out here. So if you come in, half-stepping, or you had a bad day, or you didn't eat lunch that day, well,
You're the wrong guy to not.
it's too bad.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm just not, I don't care about that. And no one else does either, because there were games where I was half-stepping and I got burned, just got cooked out the gym. It happens to everybody.
Yep.
But anyway, the reason I say that is because it's exhausting to go against the same 3 guys every day for sometimes, half a summer going into fall all the way up to your Midnight Madness.
Yeah.
Right? It's exhausting. So I remember walking through the tunnel, I got my shoes in my hand, just got my ankles taped. I'm like, yo, I would rather be anywhere else than at this workout right now. Right? I don't want to be here. But I'm gonna tough it out because, at this point, I'm respected. I'm a 4-year letterman. We went to the conference tournament last year. We got a chance to be really good this year. I know what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
It's time for him. When my number's called, I'm gonna be ready because that's just how I operate. I always consider myself the consummate professional. So we do the individuals, we do the 6 a.m. workouts, go through the whole season. At this point, man, I'm getting hella to nips, right? I'm not playing, 4, 5, 6 games straight, but we're winning, right? So I'm not complaining too much, but I'm also like, man, I should be playing. Dudes on the team are like, why aren't you playing? Well, you should be playing.
Right.
I'm in practice. I'm cooking guys in front of me. We get to, we're on the borderline. We're on the border kind of at this point in terms of making the tournament, right? Because we've won 20 games, so we got 9 losses, and 8 of those losses kind of came all in conference play.
Yeah.
Down the stretch.
Yeah.
So our record's a bit deceiving. We're really good in the beginning of the season, but we've been on a skid the second half.
Yeah.
But our record doesn't reflect that because it was so strong in the beginning.
Yeah.
So, we're playing Eastern New Mexico State. We lose. We likely don't go anywhere. We likely don't make the conference tournament or the national tournament.
Yeah.
You can look all this up. It's on the internet. You can find it. I don't play the whole first half. The dude in front of me airballs a 3. It was his 3rd airball. Again, I'm surprised. You got to a 3rd airball?
Right.
Right? You should have been out of here 10 minutes ago.
Second.
Right?
Second. You're
Yeah,
out.
right? Anyway, this guy's still in the game, still throwing up air balls. He looks down at the bench, and I'm like, I could, finish all this right now in 2 minutes. This game should not be in doubt.
Yeah.
We should not, our playoff hope should not be, hanging in the balance against a team that's 0-11.
Yeah.
But it's because of these weak dudes you're playing, right, for 30 minutes at a time, right? So he looks down the ball, he's like, Mace, get in. I go in, 15 minutes left. As soon as I get in, I hit a 3. The next play, I get a steal, make a play for somebody else, they hit a 3. Now we're going on a run at this point, right? Then I hit another 3. Make a few more plays, okay, for other people to score, right? Then I hit another 3 after that, right? And then this time I faked the 3, right? And I got a picture of this move in my office at work, right? So when people come in,
He's a lawyer.
right? So when people come in, this is one of the first things they see.
They
It's
understand who they're working with.
Yeah. So I always say, that picture kind of the kid was a sophomore, so it's a little bit of child abuse, right? Because I'm a senior at this point. It's child abuse, right? Because I'm getting all the money. So 15 minutes, 11 points, right? Because then I drive, get the bucket. At this point in my career, this is what I'm known for. That game I went off for 23. I had 19 in 23 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, my bad. I had 23 in 17 minutes. I didn't play a full half, right? So I was I'm the dude who scores per minute.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And I know this is not hype. We have seen Maso go from 0 to 15 or 0 to 12 in less than about 2 to 3 minutes.
We won championship together.
Yeah, our families have.
Right.
We've won a lot of games together.
Yeah, that game we had against Tri. That was wild.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
You were very disrespectful.
It was very disrespectful.
You're disrespectful.
It was bad.
Yeah,
it was
you're
bad.
very disrespectful.
But that was one of those nights, man, where it's like, you're just in, it's not, you know, Tri, shout out to Tri was a beast. That whole squad was good, but they caught me on a night where it was like, I can exterminate. I can just finish all of this today, right now. I put the game out of reach. Because my thing is, like, Coach O would always tell us, man, but you can beat him by 60, beat him by 60. If you can close somebody out, then just do it. Don't talk about it.
Don't wait.
Just finish it off so we can go home, okay? So, Eastern New Mexico, that's what I did. Went off. 11 points, not a ton of points, but it's like, it's what you did in that space of time.
It's about
So, like,
impact.
That
It's
put
about
us
impact.
back in the national rankings. That put that secured our spot in the conference tournament, and then later gave us the at-large bid. So it was a good night. That, and then, you know, I didn't play, but at this point, man, like, I was like, you know, a really good student. So my thing was, I went to strike while the iron was hot and continue to, like, grad school and just see what could happen, instead of playing over, you know, you did it brilliantly. You did it well. A lot of people don't do it the way you did in Boston. A lot of people go overseas, they kind of stick around too long, right? They come back, they're like 40, then they try to get their education and all that. And then you got somebody like 10 years younger than you telling you what to do, which I can't imagine that, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much my story. You know, I had opportunity. I mean, of course, I played a lot afterwards. A lot of overruns. You mentioned that championship. We won the Y League. You know, played in the.
We're gonna get that back too, man. We're gonna get that.
We're gonna get it back. We're gonna get it back.
Some sort of league back.
But yeah, no, that's my story, man.
Man, there's a lot. There's a lot there. There's a lot there. We're kind of short on time. I know these guys gotta go. But you know,
I gotta ask you this, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where does the confidence come from?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Was what I got out of it.
It comes from him, because the day that I was able to beat him was the day that I felt like I could beat anybody.
Wow.
Because the day I beat him, I was 14. It was before I knew I was going to be playing JV, all that. This was before school. And he was going to Southwest. And he and I, like, we play every day, all the time. I always lose, but I always come back.
Yeah.
Always. All right? So that day, at this point, man, like, I had, like, grown. You know, I'm like 5'10", 5'11", right? I've been playing. You know, I've been having a lot of success against kids my age. Yeah. Stonegate League. I mean, I ran through that league like 3 times, and that was the
good league too.
Good league.
It was like a mini Goodman league.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Everybody came out to
It
play.
was.
Yeah.
But I'm running through these guys. I'm getting MVP. You know, I'm on the All-Star game. Now we're winning championships too. I went back to back. I'm like, I need a new challenge. You know what I'm saying? And it's no disrespect to Stonegate, but I'm trying to get better. And I'm not gonna get any better beating you guys every summer, right? I need to go play like in Philadelphia or something. I need to play AAU. I need to play AAU this summer. Like, I'm not playing in the Stonegate. Now I just made Nova United, and we're about to play Charlie Weber. Right? So, I mean, for me, it comes from when I beat him. It's like, I think I can beat anybody.
That was like the Sonic, like the Boston Sonic. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get to that level, when you win, like.
Because I'm thinking nobody's better than him. In my eyes.
When we were coming up, Maso would go home upset a lot, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, and the thing was, I never let him get to the basket. Never. Right? You're gonna beat me, you're gonna shoot it. So he became a great shooter, right? And he, on his own, he developed that further into the shooter he is today, right? But initially, my thing was, look, if I can keep you from getting to the basket, then I can just take the ball from you. And then if I harass you enough, you'll just give it up, and I'll score, and I'll beat you 20-0, 30-0, 30-5, 20-1, 2 or whatever.
165.
Whatever
it was.
So, but he kept coming back though, and I think that's something that a lot of people should understand for their own development, right? Because if the day that you get beat, right, and you lose and you pack it up and you say, all right, well, I guess that's done with, on to the next thing. You'll be a loser in everything.
Exactly.
Right? You're gonna keep losing. You know, you're gonna lose in basketball. You're gonna lose at work. You're gonna lose in relationships. You're just gonna lose. You know. So the fact that he kept coming back, and then also the fact that he kept showing up to those individual workouts. I mean, that's professional, right? Now, you know, people who say they want to play Division I basketball, Division II basketball, play basketball, period. You got to understand, like, every day you show up to practice, you may not feel well. And the person that you got to go against probably feels great, you know? And you still got to do your thing. And you may have a bum ankle, you may have a hurt back, you may just, maybe, like you said, maybe you didn't eat, you know, maybe you didn't sleep well the night before. He don't care, right? That person over there does not care, you know. It's no excuse, right? You show up here and we're gonna see what it's gonna be.
I know, another boring ad, but I promise this is super important. I want to know, are you registered to vote? Headcount is a nonpartisan organization that works with the music and entertainment industry to get fans to vote. To update or check your voter registration status, go to headcount.org, where you'll find all the information you need to be ready for Election Day. At Headcount, you can also check your registration status. Millions of people get purged from the voter polls every year. Everyone should check their registration status. The deadline to register to vote in some states is as early as October 4th. So please get out there, guys. Spread the word, vote, so we can be the change.
Right? You know, that's competition.
Yeah, man. We're in the age where, you know, people just talk about their accomplishments, the highlight reel, Sports Center highlights. I walked in the World Gate and saw Maso getting up shots. Yep. I was in the gym looking outside the window at Herndon in the gym floor watching, you know, you get shots. And, you know, the other thing that you mentioned was neither of you actually ever got comfortable with losing. No. Never got comfortable with losing. You know, you took your L's, but they really became lessons because you took it and you learned from it and you figured out how to move forward. And then the last thing that Mace said that was big is because he was the guy wherever he's been the guy at some point. He didn't get comfortable with that and not challenge himself. Right. Like the Stonegate League, you could have easily been a Stonegate legend, right? Yeah. And then been talking about that every day, until you're 50. You're like, man, I need a new challenge. Like
there's more out there.
There's more. And a lot of people these days, especially because of social media, they get comfortable with being the guy or recognition, or some of them aren't really the guy, but they want to make themselves seem like they're the guy.
Yeah.
So
I think when you start going that route, you run the risk of having false confidence, and I feel like false confidence is like really hard to come back from because it's only a matter of time until that gets exposed for what it is. It'll catch up, and in a basketball way, like it catches up in a very real way. There's this dude I played with. I know we got to wrap up. This dude I played with, Turner Phipps, right? Really thoughtful player, Texas guy, and he was like, "Look," he's like, "Mace, you know what I've learned hooping all these years, man." He was like, "There's gonna be a time when winter comes, it's gonna ask you what you've been doing all summer." Yep. Yeah. And what that means is, games are in the winter. Mm-hmm. Everything gets done in the winter. That's when all the crowds come and watches. Everybody sees what, you know. That's the fun. That's when that's the fun part after the work is done is the game. Yeah. Right. But the summer is what nobody sees.
No one sees.
Nobody sees, you know, putting up 1,000 shots on the gun. Mm-hmm. Nobody sees you going to DC every other day to work out with, you know, some of these guys playing at, you know, VTech and D1 playing at Elon, right? Playing, you know, D3 playing at Ferrum. Yeah. You know, nobody sees, you know, you in the gym, you know, working out, you know, trying to get your body right, you know, eating the right foods, and then playing on these blacktop courts for hours at a time, trying to get yourself right, getting ball handling drills done. Nobody sees you, you know, with the jump soles on, trying to get your explosiveness better so you can, you know, start dunking for the next. See, look, man, I wasn't able to dunk naturally. I used jump soles for an entire summer.
I remember seeing you with jump soles.
And I started
and it shows. I played everywhere in the country, and my game travels.
Yeah.
But also, that's a sense of, I think people also need to be real with themselves, too, because there's certain people that if they're late to a game, then the rest of the team is like, shit, where's what's his name at? Mm-hmm. Right. You know, especially when you're the guy, right? And then when you show up, everybody's energy lifts up because they get more confident because you're here now, right? And when you're that person, if you're not that person and you recognize that in somebody else, you need to own up to the fact that you recognize that, and if you're not comfortable with that, then you need to do more work.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like you gotta respect that. You can't, anybody who has something to say about the top 2 guys or one guy or whoever it is at the top, they need to really check themselves, right? What are you doing to prepare? Could you literally step into those shoes right now? If the answer is no, honestly, you know, you don't have to let anybody know, but you need to know.
Right.
If you can't step into those shoes, then you should probably be quiet.
Yeah, I was about to say, you need to shut up.
Yeah.
Right.
Not saying anything.
Yeah, because it's hard being the best player, man. When all the defense is geared towards you, it's not easy. I mean, my sophomore year, you know, playing JV, man, some of those games were really hard, really frustrating. I mean, like a lot, because I mean, having him there, it helped, right? But I mean, it couldn't alleviate all of the attention. It can't alleviate all of it having him. You know what I'm saying? It helps, but at the same time, like I myself, you know, we're playing South Lakes, and the entire press is geared towards you.
Yeah.
And then you have Brandon, you got him. Then after that, the next guy, you know, pops
Still
up on
3
the
other
wing.
players.
Yeah, it's
you
like
guys didn't have a ton of.
I'm out here playing
scores,
with.
Yeah. It was you, him, and Paco.
Potatoes.
Chris,
Yeah.
Chris Canoisin on that team?
No, he was not on that team.
All right, yeah, sorry, I didn't want to.
No.
But look, I know, Tyler, you have to go. It's 4:42, but we do want to wrap up with something. We're gonna have you guys on again because I do want to get into your life after basketball.
Absolutely.
Story. So we need
also
to do a
Mick.
part 2,
And also
and
Mick.
we
Gotta
need
get
to
a
get
kid shut up.
Yeah.
Maybe even
Absolutely.
Pops. Maybe even
Yeah.
Pops.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man,
Definitely.
it could be a whole family affair. But
Absolutely.
we do something called Clock In MVP of the Week. I know you've commented on and thanks for showing love, man. You too. You know, you guys are like family, man, and you know, anything you all do, we're gonna support it. You know, and I know you guys are doing the same with us. But it's a segment that we started because, you know, and this is kind of why I want people to hear your life after basketball story. You know, clocking in is a lifestyle. It's not a workout thing, a sports thing. Like it's translated into your law career. It's translated into you're in cyber still, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
But you're also doing a lot with youth basketball, and you know, you clocking as a father and a husband. You know, and you know, we want to recognize someone who's very close to us. So without further ado, the Clock In MVP of the week goes to no other than Maria Hamilton.
Hey.
Nice.
So,
Congratulations.
So, you know, this is special for me because Maria was really always the academic one. She had athletic ability, but you know, she took her mind and really wanted to focus on clocking in, you know, as a scholar, right?
Yeah.
Like if she got a C, she's devastated.
Yeah.
If I got a C,
I don't think she's ever gotten a C, first of all.
I don't think she ever has either.
Let alone a B even.
Right? Yeah, maybe a couple,
I was
but
happy to get a C.
yeah, facts. Certain subjects,
Yeah.
art, PE, I had an A. Everything else, history, I usually
Yeah, I
do
get a
good.
C.
Math, science,
Gotta make it through.
English. I got a C, man. I'm good, but she, you know, it wasn't easy for her being the only one in the family who didn't play basketball. I know it was tough on her.
Yeah.
I know it was tough to be compared to us, and you know, to be quite honest with y'all, because she was going to our games a lot, she didn't have a ton of time to do her own thing.
Yeah.
So I think she kind of channeled that into academics. She graduated from VCU this past May, and now she's working, you know, 9 to 5 in physical therapy, which is
Cum laude, I believe.
something like
One of them. One of them Latin.
Yeah, that's incredible.
We obviously never got that.
Something I didn't
They
get.
start putting Latin after your name.
Yeah.
You're doing
Yeah,
well.
you got them tassels or whatever, man. I had a very basic graduation robe. You know?
Hey, you had one though.
Yeah, I had one. It's an accomplishment.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
She hasn't fully announced it yet, but what I will say is she got accepted into a very prestigious school for a doctor of physical
Dream
therapy.
school. If you guys know Maria, you probably know.
Yeah,
But
it's her dream school. She's a big fan of the school. She got accepted into their doctor of physical therapy program this week. During COVID, while having a job, fresh out of school, during COVID. So, you know, big congrats to her, man. And, you all will see the official announcement probably this week, but she clocked in, man, and it's paying off, and I know it'll continue to pay off. But fellas, man, look, always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
Appreciate y'all having us.
We got to do a part 2.
Definitely.
We got to do a part
Maso.
2 with Mick and you know, maybe your dad as well.
Yes.
And look, man, y'all have a blessed week.
We put in work and here's the proof. What you want?
I'm making moves, punching in.
I'm on it too.
I'm in the gym.
I'm in the stew.
It's hunting season.
Where's the food?
We push each other daily, level up.
Cause that's what brothers do.
Clock in.